Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, we're taking a look at the OCG Forbidden Limited list, and I'm going to go over it quickly just to give you a rundown as to some of the implications for this ban list. Let's start off here with the metagame breakdown. Sorry, I gotta scroll up. This is just what the OCG was like prior to this ban list. And I am going to talk about the ban list mostly due to the fact that it does give us an understanding as to what to look forward to in Master Duel. So coming at this from a Master Duel perspective, what to kind of expect. Now, if you don't know, this was the overall top decks for the most recent couple of tournaments, with Ryzeal, the new top deck, arguably. Which is one of the newer decks within Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a really cool strategy that works similarly to something like Sprite. It's similar in nature, except with rank 4s instead of 2s. So it's pretty cool, and it works fairly well. But it's also a shifter deck. So that's cool. Yeah, shifter. Then, of course, we have Snake Eye, we have Tenpai, expected. We have Malice, which is another new deck, which is another shifter deck. Let me scroll down to this deck list. It's a shifter deck that utilizes Cybers. So it's a Cybers shifter deck, and all of these cards banish and can like bring themselves back from banish, which makes it pretty nice. And then they have some fairly okay traps that I believe recur themselves. I could be wrong about that one. And then we have Yubel as well. So, you know, 3 of the 5 decks are decks that we've been seeing for a really long time, and so because of that, this ban list is likely to hit them. I'm just going to scroll down here and just go from the bottom here. Unlimited, nothing really of note here except for Zeus going to 3. Pretty interesting, because now you can Zeus into Zeus, which is funny, but other than that, nothing really of note here. Just some cards that are underpowered at this point. This got errata, don't worry, the Plush Fire is fine. It's a once per turn. That's it. Everything else is kind of like silly that it was even limited at some capacity. Well, I shouldn't say Raigeki and Lightning Storm, but beside the point. We have a whole bunch of semi-limits. Why are you back to 2? Go back to 1. Go back to 0. I hate you, Terratop. I hate your stupid shenanigans. But that's beside the point. Everything else here is fine. Gold Sark is like, whatever. It's not going to do anything. Gozen Match is weird. Why is this at 2 and not at 1 or at 0? Like it should be. I don't know what's going on in the OCG. They just really are slow to hit things. And the reason I say this is because Maxx C is at 2. Huh? Why? What? Now, if you don't know, Maxx C got 2 new counterparts, or more specifically, replacements. What realistically should be replacements with the Moltramis, right? Moltrami Purlia, as well as Fua. Both of these basically have the same stipulation where you can't control any cards. You discard this to apply this effect this turn each time your opponent special summons a monster, either from deck or extra deck for Fua, or if they normal or special summon a monster from hand, you draw a card, right? Pretty simple. Other than that, no real other restrictions. I know it technically says like you can only activate one of their Moltrami effect. That's not. Ignore that. That's stupid. But yeah, there's like a whole nother effect. Ignore it. This is literally just Maxx C. That second effect will never come up. I promise. I promise it will never come up. Okay. So for the most part, it is just Maxx C for specific things. However, you can't use it going first, which is great. That's fantastic. However, if you look at these deck lists, they're all running 3 apiece of Fua and 3 apiece of Maxx C. So my question is, why is this at 2 and not at 1 or at 0? I don't know why they printed these cards and then are slowly limiting Maxx C. And it's not like Maxx C has had like, it's not like it's a new card where it's like, oh, we don't want people to like immediately lose their investment like they did with, you know, Fiendsmith or something like that. It's like, no, this is like an old card that everyone has had forever. You could very easily put this to 0 and no one would bat an eye, because they probably got their investment worth, unless it's a brand new player. But like, if it's a new player, what do you want? Like, yeah, that happens. No matter what you were to do, if a new player bought a brand new like top tier deck, of course they'd be upset. Yeah, anyway. Nightmare Throne's also at 2, which is kind of funny. And then we have a whole bunch of limited cards. Dryden's coming back, Snatch Deal's coming back, Cool Dragoon's coming back. I don't know why we like this card, but apparently Konami does. Of course, it's a Dark Magician card, that's why. This asshole is coming back. Who petitioned Konami to bring this guy back? I just want to talk. I just want to talk in person, in a dark alley, away from all of the sounds of other people. That's it. I just want to have a conversation. I hate this card. Why is it back? Luckily, it's not yet in Master Duel, but you know that's coming, and I'm not excited. Also, the rest of the metagame died. Just casually. Bonfire's at 1. Diabell Star. I almost called her Black Star. Black Witch. Diabell Star is at 1. Poplar is at 1. Ash Blossom, Snake Eye Ash is at 1. Wanted is at 1. Engraver's at 1. Tract is at 1. Chundra doesn't matter. That's a lie. This does not matter. Yubel, Phantom of Yubel, is at 1. All of these are massive hits to the other two top decks, that being Snake Eye and Yubel. So yeah, honestly, Yubel got absolutely destroyed. The thing is, with Phantom of Yubel, this is probably the biggest hit in terms of the metagame in general, right? Like, from this ban list, this is the most impactful thing. Fiendsmith Engraver, yada yada, all of this stuff. Yeah, it's like, it's nerfs to like consistency, which does hurt. This is an actual hit to part of the end board and one of the most insane extenders in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever. So yeah, this card should be banned, but at the very least, I think that Yubel is likely to just kind of fade from existence now, because sure, Yubel kind of does stuff now, and like it can still kind of do like the Fiend Link shenanigans, but without Phantom of Yubel, it's pretty weak. It's pretty mid. Or I should say, without multiple Phantom of Yubel, because dealing with one is a cakewalk. It's like kind of a monster negate. The problem with it was that you could make 3, or even just 2, right? And then you could use one as a negate and one as an extender, which was crazy powerful. And now you can't do that. You got to choose one or the other, which makes it way easier to deal with, right? So for the most part, I think this is the biggest hit. I could be wrong. It could be the Poplar hit, because now you could draw a Poplar. Oh, that'd be terrible. But yeah, for the most part, I think this is pretty insane. Also, I think Snake Eye is pretty much out of the metagame at this point, with how I should say, as a deck by itself, as like the main engine. You could potentially see it be played as an engine in other decks, because like playing like 4 cards as like Adventure did to just kind of get bodies onto the field is not terrible, but I don't think most decks are wanting to even do that, especially with the release of like Malice and some of those other archetypes that are just a bit stronger and don't really need to play the Bonfire or the Snake Eye stuff. So and maybe Snake Eye sticks around as like a engine, but that's basically it. And Beatrice, burn in hell, you stupid piece of shit. But that's basically it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys did enjoy and you gained something from this. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye. Shout out to the Frost Guard, my members. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you enjoy the content.